Good news! You got a raise! Or here's some other money that you weren't expecting. What are you gonna do with it? Hi friends, I am Sarah, also known as Budget Girl here on the internet, and I make videos every single week on how to manage your money on any income, pay off debt, and build the life of your dreams on less. I paid off $33,000 of student loan debt in just 3 years and 3 months on a mostly $26,000 reporter salary that went up to $30,000 in the last year. I did it by side hustling, figuring out how to master a budget to make sure that I would never be burdened by debt again. Now I have my full income to work with and am building my wealth so that I will one day soon be a millionaire. If you like winning with money, I'd love it if you liked this video and also subscribed if you're new. It's totally free and it's what the millionaires would do. So today we're going to talk about what to do with a sudden windfall of money. I was lucky enough very recently to get a small raise at work. Less than $2,000 a year, which actually doesn't break down to that much, but it was honestly money that I wasn't expecting. My boss is absolutely wonderful and just called me in one day and said, hey, I had to resubmit budgets for the next fiscal year for employees or whatever, and I think you deserve this money. And I was like, that's amazing, thank you so much. It's also incredibly different from how my previous career as a journalist was, because you didn't get raises as a journalist ever. I never even heard of them from anyone getting one. And now that I work at a university, Texas A&M, I actually get like longevity pay and benefits and insurance, and they do cost of living increases every couple of years, and your bosses actually give you raises sometimes. It's really wonderful. So the question is, what do you do with a raise or a windfall of some kind? And it doesn't have to be a raise. Say you got a small inheritance, or you won a contest, or say you sold something, or hopefully not, but if you got into a car accident and got a small payout, what do you do with that sudden windfall of money that you're not expecting? So depending on your personality, you might choose one of the following ways. The first way, which I would not recommend, by the way, is to treat yourself. Spend it on something fun, take a vacation, get a new wardrobe, go for a spa day. And this is what a lot of people do, is they increase their lifestyle to meet their new salary or their new windfall money. They treat that money like it's always been there and will always be there, and increase their lifestyle to the point where it's like they didn't even get the raise. But windfalls can be the most amazing way to propel yourself ahead financially, especially when you're forecasting your future. An additional maybe $2,000 probably doesn't mean that much to you right now, but if you saved or invested that, it could really increase the amount of money that you had at, say, retirement. You could use that money to invest in yourself and take a course, or if you're a small business owner, invest into your business. Say if you're a photographer, buy new camera equipment, which could then make you more money, which would be the second way to spend the money, is to invest in yourself or in some formal capacity where you're using that money to build you more money. Another way to use your windfall would be to pretend it didn't happen. Pull the wool over your own eyes and just immediately send it to like savings or investing, and just pretend you never even got it. And that, by the way, is what a lot of very wealthy people do. Anytime they get returns on their money, they just throw it back into their investments and savings so it can grow them more money. This, by the way, is what I plan to do with my money, but we'll get back into that in a second. And of course, the fourth thing that you could do with this is do some sort of split. And I actually think this is one of the healthiest ways to deal with a windfall, is to maybe save like 80% of it, or put 80% of it towards your money goals, and then take the other 20% and do something fun. And that's a really balanced way to live a life. And in that way, as you're increasing your income, your lifestyle's coming up a little, you have a few more creature comforts, but you're not spending everything that's coming in. So let's talk about what I'm doing with my raise. So like I said, it was a little under $2,000, specifically $120.13 per monthly paycheck that I get. So that actually doesn't sound like that much, and it doesn't equal out to almost $2,000 if you times it by 12, but that's because with the raise, my taxes went up just a little bit. And also, and this is something I'm very excited about, my retirement contributions went up a very healthy percent. So before this raise, I was contributing about $250 a month to a teacher's retirement system account, which is building money for my future, and I cannot touch it until I retire, which is wonderful. My job, Texas A&M, also matches what I put in, which by the way is 7.7% of my income. They match 6.5% of it, which is an amazing benefit if you have an employer that matches retirement funds. Absolutely contribute as much as you need to get that match. It's free money. So I was contributing about $250 a month to my retirement, but after this raise, it went up to $303.77, an up of $48. Now, what's cool about that is that my retirement contribution went up a decent amount without me having to do anything. It was just an automatic up as my salary increased. But the better part is that that $48 increase that I'm giving to it each month, Texas A&M is going to add to it so that it'll probably be around $70 actually a month that is now going to my retirement. So it's like an even bigger raise, which is amazing. I could go in and adjust it so I wasn't putting so much towards retirement, but I'm absolutely not going to do that. I love putting in as much as I can for retirement because that is going to make me wealthy in the long term. So what did I do with the $120 that is coming into my paycheck each month now? Well, like I said, I'm kind of a pretend it didn't happen person and throw it right at my next big money goal, which is actually saving for a multi-family property like a duplex where I will live in one side, rent out the other, and house hack it by using the renter's income to pay the mortgage for the whole property, freeing up a lot of my current income to build more wealth with. If you're interested more in how that kind of dream is manifesting, I will link a video below on kind of how I came to that, and it's more on what I'm doing with it. So right now I'm saving up a down payment for that multifamily property, and I was putting $350 per month into an investment account for that to be accessed in the next 2 to 3 years, hopefully sooner. I decided to put the $120.13 straight into that account so that I never see it. I just changed my automatic contribution, and then it was at $470, and I didn't think that was a round enough number, so I actually went into my budget and I lowered a couple of categories a little bit that I thought I could maybe do without, and I rounded up to an even $500 a month. So now I'm contributing $500 a month to that down payment fund, and that's gonna get built a lot faster at that rate than it was at $350. No matter what you decide to do with your windfall, I encourage you to pay attention to your paychecks and pay attention to that money as it comes in and monitor how it goes out. Because if you're not paying attention to where that money is going, where any of your money is going, it tends to drift away. We've all had those days where we had a bunch of cash and we went shopping when we were teenagers, and by the end of the day we were like, what did I spend all this money on? Well, it's exactly like that, but on the macro level of your entire salary is just leaking out these little places when you don't know where your money's going. So pay attention to your pay stubs, pay attention to changes when they happen, and if you're ballsy enough, pretend those windfalls didn't happen and throw them straight at your money goals. I would love to know what you do with windfall money, whether you are enjoy it, let's live life a little, if you pretend it didn't happen, or if you're a more moderate, you enjoy a little bit, but you also increase your money goals and save a little bit too. I would love to hear what you have done with your recent money windfalls in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you gave it a thumbs up and subscribed. If you're new here, we talk about all the money things all the time. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. By the way, you guys always ask in the comments what lipstick I'm wearing, and this time, usually it's Sell Out by Too Faced, which I've worn in basically every video I've ever published in the last 2 years. But this time it is Sophia Nygaard's new Franken shade mix with ColourPop. This is the Bury Me in lipsticks, and it's actually a really beautiful kind of maroon, but depending on what you wear it with, it goes really, really well with basically anything, and I'm extremely thrilled with it. I will link it down below, not affiliated at all, but it's really, really nice, and I'm a big fan of hers. So when she announced her collaboration with ColourPop and did the whole building a giant lipstick thing, I went ahead and ordered one with some of my personal money, and totally worth it.